I don't really ever want to stick on my camera again, but I probably will. I kind of have to, because I have one descendant and I care about what she might think of her father 10 or 20 years. In November, I made an audio recording to share with somebody, and I've just listened to it again for the first time. It's pretty good. It's a little bit pretentious. I was, for 2 or 3 months, at a considerable, just slight, I don't use the word stress, but just, there was a scenario, a totally and utterly broken down vehicle, no idea if I'd ever get it going again, disastrous garages. Then we even discovered a disastrous grant-giving organisation that wasted 3 months of my life. Anyway, no axe to grind, none at all. But here's the point. The point, listening, and I'm going to actually carry on. I'm only doing 5 minutes here. Listening to that, yeah. I've had a really good talk this morning with somebody. Now, this is, the recording is actually called Purpose. It's actually called Purpose. I'd arrived by 6 months ago knowing exactly all the interpersonal situations, even in a very, very theoretically easy to inhabit region of Britain. All the interpersonal relationships, and they're not mine, I know others, the same thing has happened for them. Not very functional. So, what are you left with? So I have 2 things. I have a trove, and as I've been waffling into my audiobook, which wasn't really the plan, it's like I got some interesting stories. I don't really think like that, though. They don't thrill me. And I don't really think this British, particularly British, I think it's particularly British. Like everything is a soap opera for 300 years. So throw in some interesting scenes. I've got plenty. I'm only interested in the philosophical learning that, well, as an older person, you're only interested, you either shut away your memories, your things, your scrapes, your wonderful periods of life that didn't, or that turned out to be not quite as wonderful. You either shut them away, or I think maybe as an older person, the ideal, because the memories come back, is, okay, what is the philosophical, what did I not learn? That's such a pious way of putting it. What is the philosophical usefulness in pondering that in the context, not even in the context of the rest of my life, in the context of society. Full stop. I'm going to put up this Purpose recording. Now, it's a bit sad because I thought I'd be able to actually find the right collaborator. Or, as I put in my podcasty thing, synergy. So it is sad. But anyway, so I know, and listening to it again, I've put it right actually. I did put it right then, because I'd already arrived at that point. My schism was last October, November. And then I made a choice to try and engage just one person who appeared different and anyway expressed that they have very deep insights into some awful things in British society. To me, that's wonderful. You know others who say things like this sometimes, but they're so stuck, busy in their bourgeois whatever, their journey, their focus, their bourgeois construct, even if they're pretending to be not needing very much. Anyway, to the point. Yeah, I'd love, in fact, I'd love to actually, the person that I spoke to, for the first year of encountering them, I put a lot of time into their project, because I encountered them right at the beginning of April 2020. I put a lot of effort because it's like, somebody seems to be doing something incredibly positive for the environment, and they said they had 300 grand to spend on it. I don't even want to talk about the details, because that's not the point. But so that was a great project aside of all what was going on in 2020. But these people arrive. There's one fundamental thing in this actually, which is a bit sad. The people arrive, and I'm sure plenty come through this region here, and you don't know who they are. It's like, I used to make jokes at this particular woman. I don't know if you're a money launderer. I really don't know, because the money launderers, or rather the shell corporations that have large amounts of money to move around, do we call it blah blah blah, and invest? Such an organisation bought the hotel in a place called Knighton, without a doubt. They are pretty dodgy. Sorry, can I just? So I'm just busy. So I used to make jokingly. See, there you go. Fucking hell. Jokingly, I used to say, "You're a money launderer," but I had a recorder on always to protect myself. Somebody says they've got a large amount of money to invest in land for a totally ethical environmental project. But I don't know. I don't want to be in any way sucked into something if there's something that's not. I live a totally simple existence. I understand the dodgy modern world. I understand it. I don't want any of that in any way to waste my time. So it's really interesting actually. After about a year and a half, turned out that so many things said, well, I'm not going to even focus on it, but if you a catalogue of just almost spending a lot of time with somebody who is the ultimate Walter Mitty, but after about a year and a half I talked through exactly, this is not good. It's not good for you, in front of a friend of hers in a public place, and she got angry. It doesn't matter. Okay, a lot of people were in a very curious state by 2021. But we had a really good chat this morning after the big blow up, which I didn't lose I never lose my rag. She did. After her big blow up, for a month or two we didn't really speak, and then after about another month, come for a wander around the grounds of the local nature reserve, and slowly. Anyway, she's doing something, I hope, that is a good purpose, that I don't really want to be involved in, but I've offered some advice and, more importantly, some people that I know she should engage. Anyway, we had a really good chat today, but we've had several good chats over the last 6 months. And it's like, that's what a relationship is. Even though you have a year and a half of, quite frankly, God only knows what planet this person was on, but there were quite good things. She was good to talk to because she would at least not be in any way hysterical about 2020, 2021. So it was good to have somebody to talk with about, we didn't talk about it. It's just like, so trying to do positive things turns out total and utter bizarre. But you get over it. I had to. It would be, and nobody manipulates me, but it's like, it would be just wrong. It would be inauthentic of me to not raise this eventually. I actually had a list. Sorry, I'm not just going to get into your melodrama of ping pong. Well, there's no pong, okay? I haven't done anything wrong in any way to her. She's never said I had. But, love, you've done this. We tied in this person. I told this person you were going to do this. You even said you were going to supply to me boxes of unused children's books that I would disseminate among families that I knew in the area. Real, face to face. None of this happened. You are worse than a nightmare. You are. Anyway, that's true. I just told the truth. Absolutely categorical truth. Doesn't matter. Several months of sulking, and then gradually returning. And in actual fact, here's the point. Unfortunately, this particular person I couldn't do my purpose project with, and couldn't even be a partner. Brexiter, bit of a drinker. Not for me. And not really a country person either. Or not really, not into small space living, because wants her expensive wood burner, etc. Not me anymore. Would have been 30 years ago. But the point is, that's a relationship. And we've had half a dozen really good chats over the last 9 months. I know we'll never do anything. No, it's like, I could never trust her. I don't ask her to do anything that's important. I'd like to be able to. But nevertheless, we can have an intelligent, mature, balanced conversation, just as two, in certain areas of life, we're equals. That's a relationship. Weird period, particularly 2020-21. Blow up, sulk, then gradual. At least we can have a real conversation. That's a relationship. It's as simple as that. But I don't think anybody even, or most people don't even get that. There is a period, the bad period. The bad period is perhaps even the testing period. It's like, well, you get through that, okay, we've got a peace now. But no one's going to waste any of my time. I'm not listening to any more bullshit. The new project, well, I've been talking about it, advising on it. In fact, I basically seeded it in her head. It's like, okay, that one's different. That one I know that you really want to do because of your pride. So, right, I will feed in gradually people. I'm not going to say to anybody, you can trust them totally until there's a group. Once there's a group, then it has more of a democratic... Anyway, that's... Why did I turn the camera on? Yeah, the other thing, the really... I know, unfortunately, I hate saying the following, but I know there are quite a lot of people more down here, but enough in my past region, who are really quite problematically mentally ill and potentially even a bit dangerous. What amuses me, you see, actually I realised this myself. I kind of knew this 6 or 7 years ago. And actually, one of the great dichotomies in life is those who've done social media or done things somehow in society that have got a bit of a track record. Because I haven't been frightened of dealing with the people in a real mess. I've dealt with a lot of people, helping them with their benefits, etc. People I do not like and have zero in common with. But I've experienced through them over loose relationships, 6 months, a year, it might be longer, who really, really I don't feel comfortable with. They have mental issues, or I don't even like to say mental issues. They're just not, they do not have the setting, which is always find peace. Even when things go wrong, find peace. Act to find peace. They don't have that setting. And I basically fear them a bit, because there are plenty out there who not only are not like that, but then they're so clever, will really fucking get you. That they obsess on getting you. So actually, I only actually trust people with a bit of a profile. I categorically know that having a bit of a profile can make you quite narcissistic, butterfly-ish, etc. This is the terrible dichotomy. But at least you can see, well, that person hasn't got really genuine difficult things in their past. Otherwise they would show a bit, although I never Google anybody. I don't. Somebody who I spent 6 or 7 years so deeply supporting. I was his main supporter in an environmental thing that he did, but I knew the day I met him, this guy's really, really unhappy, very tense, a very green person. I put a huge amount of effort into his thing. I never even Googled him. You know, I'd invested so much time, and I knew this man was pretty on the edge, very lonely and bitter man. Never even Googled him. You don't really find anything from Google, but anyway, why did I even mention that? Because I let myself go 3 or 4 months ago. Okay, I will explore a bit more. I needed to. I didn't really know until I've realised there's no point. Just 97% of people are stuck, and anyway, 30%, 40% of people are just absolutely, they will never be pushed off the little comfortable bourgeois road ahead. And some of them are going to get knocked off that, probably quite a few, but nothing, they are absolutely, I don't want to know about anything else other than my career, consuming, plan, intentions that way, particularly if they're in their 40s. No, there's no point having anything to do with them, but I know quite a few will get, in fact a lot will get knocked off. I know that, it's obvious. If you understand economics and all the various effects of various things in Britain the last 10 years, but it's 20 years with this unviable social care model. It's not viable. I mean, we hear today reports. I was listening to a report today. Now they say social workers just they cannot cope with anything. Well, that's because we needed a paradigm in society 20 years ago. It takes a village to raise a child, and you can't push that on people. That needed to come from the people. No, nobody will do that. Nobody will get involved. Nobody will get involved with any other, perhaps simple problem to augment, to assist with a family that's in a bit of a mess. No, it's on listening to a social worker talk, but I've been listening to this for a long time. They now say it's totally broken. They cannot do anything. They would need a huge, massive, billions re-injecting, and then years to train up a load of new staff. It's not a viable model. Having social services and the state look after you're old, you're not very well, you're wonky, it's just not a viable model. They don't do it in plenty of other countries. They don't do it in most of Central Europe. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Why did I go off on that? Because at the end of the day, no, there's no hope. There's lots of people in a real mess. I've got to now stop doing anything like this for a while, but I just want my daughter to see. Hey, in fact, I haven't been down here before. It's absolutely lovely down here. A bit close to a road for me, but it's great. And I'm going to go for a bath now and then finish off. But it kind of, now I need to do nothing now for a few months but the purpose thing, yeah, that absolutely categorically. At the end of the day, if only 100 people ever read, I'll put the audio up. There's one personal reference to somebody, it doesn't matter. There we go. But that was me in November. I didn't realise I was so fixed on it in November. God, I've had a full 10 months and achieved nothing. Other than found somewhere with okay walks that's probably going to be a bit warmer in the winter.